All right, Brad, mute yourself for me, champ.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay, great. Thanks, bro. Go ahead and mute yourself out for me.
Got it. Wait.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Larry Beacham, and I want to thank you so much for jumping on. I greatly appreciate you for being here. Now, being a family man, I want to let you go. All right, excellent. Uh-oh, got a little back feed. All right. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Got a little back feed from my own broadcast. All right, here we go. All right. So as I was going to say, as a family man, I'm sure everyone probably knows that from time to time you have a little bit of a monkey wrench that's thrown into your day. I work from home, so I cannot show you me. I hope that doesn't hinder you. But my name is Larry Beach. I want to thank you so much for being here on this hangout this evening. This training is something that I consider to be a strong passion of mine. It is something that has really helped me in a variety of different ways. Sometimes it's helped me to literally survive, while other times it's helped me to thrive, both in my personal finances as well as my business finances. And so I have been teaching this for years. As a matter of fact, I actually have been doing what you're about to learn since the age of 12. And I actually got in trouble for it because neither one of my parents not only were not entrepreneurs, they didn't understand the concept of creative cash flow generation. They were blue collar workers. My dad's a factory worker. My mother's a bus driver. My uncles and every city workers. And so I'm the one that stood out like an X-Man. I was the mutant X-Man amongst the family when it came to making money stuff. So I was never the one that could last on a job longer than a year because I was always itchy in a way. I always wanted to do my own thing. And so I was able to do a lot of survival based things because I just knew how to do what I'm going to teach you tonight. And that's take my brain cells and allow the creativity that God had naturally given me and use it to make money. Sometimes for survival, sometimes, to grow a business, sometimes to pay off debts, sometimes to vacation. It just depended on the situation. And without realizing it, it was a skill and a talent that I was able to cultivate. It is not a gift necessarily. I think there are some giftings to it, but it is by and large a skill set. Anything that you can learn that's a skill can be mastered. And so tonight I want to teach you a way to make money that you might not have ever discovered. I want to let you also know why I'm doing this. And I'm going to mention this again somewhere in the presentation, but for the people that are listening to me now, a lot of you might be experiencing some issues with a home-based business, whether it's a network marketing company, an affiliate program. I'm not here to pitch a business. I'm not going to talk about a business tonight at all. I think it's more important for me to uncover and unlock some potential that's on the inside of you, because for those of you that are participating in some of these opportunities, you're not either making any money or you're experiencing what I like to call opportunity burnout. In other words, every time you turn around, there's something popping up, and you probably have a bend to want to try it, and it doesn't work out, and so you try another one, and it doesn't work out, and so you go through this cycle, but you believe deep down inside there's a way for you to make money, and you just have not put your finger on it yet. Well, I am probably going to shock and surprise you tonight that you'll be putting the finger on your own forehead tonight. You'll be putting your finger on your own heart tonight, because I'm only going to be talking about you. It may not seem like it right now, but this whole entire presentation is about you. I know you've sat through webinars. I know you've sat in hotel meetings and conference meetings and hangouts and conference calls, whatever, to listen to somebody pitch and promote an opportunity, a product, a service, a business, and some of you, if not all of you, have at least invested in one of them because something was said that convinced you that you needed to go into your money and invest in that thing, that business, that product, that service. This is the only webinar you'll probably be on that the whole entire message is not about a product, it's not about a service, it's not about an opportunity, it's literally about you. And if you decide to take advantage of what I'm going to teach tonight, because by and large you can activate what I'm going to teach you tonight, you can do it. If you choose not to do it, just know in advance you're choosing not to do you. I know that's a bold statement, but I'm going to prove it out. I want you to get out your Google Notepad, your WordPad. I want you to get out a regular pad and pencil, something to take some serious notes. And please do me a favor and give yourself enough self-respect not to be listening to the TV, watching some show, or on Google searching something out, or Facebook looking at your feed, or texting, or whatever you do. Please, it's worth it for you to give me just a little bit of your undivided attention, because I know for a fact with the 250 plus people who have already taken this training, they have taken advantage of the training. There's been a few thousand people who've taken the training. There's been a couple hundred who've taken advantage of it and who are getting real results. And you'll see some testimonies of that tonight. And I've even invited a couple of people here to share some live testimonies. So with that being said, let's jump into tonight's training. I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time talking about me and my credentials. Do yourself a favor. If you don't know me that well, Google me, YouTube me. Whatever you need to do to learn about me, I want to give you an opportunity to do that aside from me. But I want to really get into why I invited you here tonight and deliver some value. All right. I want you to all understand the origin of where I got this training from. I'm a man of God, and one of the things I try to study are the principles of prosperity, and I don't believe that there's a stronger place to start than the Word of God. And so the whole premise of what you're going to learn tonight is based on this story in the Bible called the widow's oil. And I want to use it as a lay of foundation and then move into exactly how you'll learn how to take your knowledge, skills, and know-how, convert it into cash, leads for an existing business you have, and have certainly built authority to lend to your ultimate success by having that position. So here it is. In 2 Kings 4, verses 1 through 7, there's a story called the widow's oil. And I'll just explain it to you real quick what the story is and why it's relevant today. It's the story of a woman whose husband died and left her in some major debt, which is not uncommon in America today. Although this is a biblical story from the Old Testament, I guarantee you there's households right now that have already been through this or are about to go through it tomorrow. So there she is, a widow in debt. Husband had left her debt. The debt was so bad that she was dirt poor, and her sons were about to be taken into slavery over the debt. That's some serious debt. Man, some of y'all, if y'all knew that y'all spouses and kids are going into debt or going into slavery over your debt, you probably wouldn't have the debt. But then again, some of you might. But I digress. But here's the point. She was so distressed by her debt and her poverty that she reached out to a guy named Elijah and cried out for help. And so Elijah was perplexed about really the situation, and he asked her one simple question. He said, "What do you have in your house?" And she responded, "I don't have anything except for this pot of oil." And so he said to her three magical things, which I think are magical, but I'm going to tell you what they are. The first thing he told her to do is, "I want you to go out and get pots from all your neighbors, borrow as many pots as you can get." Elijah looked at that oil and instantly recognized its value. And he was able to not only recognize the value, but instantly know a plan to get the money out of the oil so she can get out of her situation. So step one, he told her, go borrow some pots so we can pour this oil out. The second thing he told her to do was just that, start pouring the oil. And as long as the pots kept coming in, that oil kept flowing. And then the third thing he told her to do was go sell your oil. Now in verse 7 of the scripture, it says basically that she was not only able to pay off her debts, she was able to live on the rest. Verse 1, this woman was dirt poor, sons going into slavery. She had nothing. 6 verses later, she's paying off her debts and living on the money left over, which meant she got rich. So what happened? Couple key things happened. Number one, Elijah was able to show her the real value of the oil she always had in her house. The second thing is she had to believe that. And the third thing she had to do was activate the plan he gave her, which gave her the ability to get out of debt and have money left over to live on. So the reason why I say this is relevant, ladies and gentlemen, as we go forward is I need you to get this. If you don't get this, you need to get off the webinar because the rest won't matter. The oil is a metaphor. In other words, the oil represents something that you already have in your house or in your mind. more specifically your mind, that you may not even recognize as having monetary value until tonight. And I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to play the role of Elijah, and I'm going to show you the oil. I'm going to not only show you the oil, I'm going to show you the value in the oil. And then I'm going to give you a game plan so you can get cash out of it. So this is the number one reason why I don't need to pitch a business opportunity to any of you. Why would I? You are the business opportunity. You have been shown and sold opportunities in the past, and tonight that's not the case. And I want to show you very succinctly and clearly, no hype, no gimmicks, no games, that you have right now the capacity to monetize a lot of things that are already inside of you. Now, I might have a guest that just jumped on. I hear a little fidgeting around on the line. If you are a guest I've invited, please mute your line, mute your computer, because I hear some distracting noises. I don't want to have anything take us away from focusing tonight, please. Thank you. All right, so this is what the nature of what we're going to talk about. So Elijah gave her a 3-step plan. Number one was to collect some pots. Pots is a metaphor. I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. The second thing was to pour out the oil. The oil is a metaphor, and to sell the oil is not a metaphor. We are actually going to talk about how you can sell what it is that you have. I want you to get a picture in your mind of Swiss cheese. All right, everybody knows Swiss cheese has holes in it. And I want you to see that Swiss cheese, a slice of Swiss cheese. And I want you to see those holes in the Swiss cheese. Those holes in the Swiss cheese represent tonight's webinar. Because those holes in the Swiss cheese is your money. But the holes are the gaps that are missing because somebody never came along and taught you the concepts I'm teaching you tonight. That you don't have to sell a product or service or an opportunity, or you can. But I'm saying at the same time, there's more money to be made that you already have in you. Some of you were born with it. Some of you learned it. Some of you experienced it. Some of you were trained with it. I don't know what it is for each of you, but all of you, trust me, 100% of you can plug those holes in your income. You're coming up on the holidays listening to me right now, and some of you have no idea how you're going to have the Christmas that you really want to have because you don't know where the money is going to come from because you have been trained and conditioned to look outside of yourself. I'm telling you tonight, you don't have to do that anymore. I'm going to show you how you can look inside of yourself and pull money from that. And so what is the oil? So I'm talking about the oil being a metaphor. Let's talk about what it is. Number one thing that your oil is your walk-around knowledge. Most of you suffer from what my mentor Myron Golden would call it's just me-itis. What that means is you have some knowledge that you have been walking around with forever and been using to your benefit and the benefit of others, but because it's just mundane and normal and ordinary to you, you dismiss its real value. For example, my wife has women coming by our house from time to time because we have a large family. We have 6 kids, and my wife has become very proficient in not only stretching money, but being able to organize our freezer and be able to be very efficient with meals. Well, I can't tell you the number of moms and wives who have come over here or called asking my wife for advice. And my wife will just get on the phone with them and talk to them for 30 minutes to an hour or whatever, and by the time the conversation is over, these ladies are way better off than they were before they called. And when I brought that to my wife's attention, she said, nobody would want to spend money on that. I said, go to Amazon right now. I guarantee you there's somebody that wrote a book on what you're talking about. So I had to awaken my own wife to the fact that her knowledge has monetary value. And all of you on this call right now have it. But the problem for most of you is you try to qualify it too highly, meaning it doesn't have a degree, a pedigree, a diploma, a certificate behind it, which quote-unquote validates it. And so now you dismiss it and you miss money that you deserve. And I'm here to tell you that God did not give you that knowledge to tell you that it required a qualification for you to get money from it. It doesn't. There's literally 100 websites that I'm aware of that you can go right now and give your knowledge and value for money, 10 of which I'm going to give you tonight before you get off of here. But nobody's going to care about your pedigree, your degree, your diploma, your certificate. All they want to do is have relief from their pain. That's it. That's all they want is relief. And you have the knowledge to relieve the pain. That is one type of oil. The second type is your training. Some of you are formally trained in different things. Martial arts, photography. Who knows? You've gone to a job and they've actually allowed you to go and get advanced training in management and asset asset management and managing people and whatever. And you now have that knowledge, but you're only pointing it at your job. I'm telling you, you can actually point it outside of the job and get paid on it. You could be trained in the military. I don't know what you're trained in, but you have training. Either you spent money on it or you've gotten a scholarship for it and it's helped you get to your next level. Once again, if there's a guest on the line that has jumped on, please mute your computer. I'm hearing background noise. I'd like to not have any distractions. Mute your computer. Click on the screen. Click on the thing that mutes your speakers. Unplug them. Whatever you got to do. All right. Number 3 is your skills. Your skills. You have cultivated some skills that people can actually use and you can get paid for. Your gifts. Some of you are naturally gifted singers, naturally gifted composers, naturally gifted dancers, naturally gifted communicators and encouragers. This is what God has naturally given you. People look at you and say, man, you make that look so easy. And to you it is easy because it's your gift from God. But it's a gift that can be monetized. Some of you have a gift of writing. Some of you have a gift of motivation. I don't know. You know what your gifts are. But are you getting the check for it is my question. Probably not. Experiences. A buddy of mine, Steve Hopper, spent 12 years in prison. And I had a conversation with him about 1.5 to 2 years ago and told him that his story had money. Today, guess what he's doing? He's speaking around the country in colleges, high schools, businesses, and he's telling his story, and he's getting paid for it on a platform of teaching influence. But his experience is what got him there in prison. Now, some of you might be looking at some of your experiences and even your failures and not realizing that there's monetary value. Well, Steve realized that his experience and that 12 years of failure now is being used to his benefit. He's getting paid speaking engagement. Just had a $1,000 speaking engagement for an hour of his time just last week because he's now learned that is part of his oil. Your passions. What are you passionate about? I know tons of people who are getting paid based upon their passions. And I mentioned failure already. So these are 7 different streams of income that are not in your household right now that I want to give you an opportunity to start plugging into. You don't have to have all 7, and this is not all-inclusive per se, but I wanted to categorize them so you can look at these and go, which one of these 7 can I or should I now be getting paid for? Let me give you a bigger window into that. If you spend any amount of time with anybody over the last year on any one of these 7 things and you don't have any money to show for it, that's why you're here tonight. So yes, you might be involved in a business opportunity and you've been able to generate 20 leads from that business opportunity. And you think that those 20 leads that you generated are of no value to anybody. Nobody would pay for that. I can tell you there's tons and tons and tons of people that have never got a single lead and they're bumping their head against the wall trying to figure it out. And if you can simply take 20 minutes and $30 of their money and get on Facebook and show them how to do it, they'd be happy to pay you the $30. And I'm just mentioning Facebook as just a random example. Doesn't matter how you did it. Point is, there you are with some knowledge or success that they don't have that you would probably most likely go out and just give it away. And I'm telling you tonight, don't do it. I'm going to teach you structurally how to get the money out of it. I'm just asking you to consider all of the money that you're leaving on the table, all of the money that your kids have not been able to benefit from to this point, all of the birthdays that you were not able to get the birthday present you really wanted because money was a stressor, all of the time that you wanted to go on vacation and had to either put it off or change where you were going because money was the reason. And I know this sounds just like business opportunity talk, doesn't it? But this is why they use these things in business opportunities, because they hit an emotional place. And I'm trying to do the same thing, but I'm asking you to not go outside of yourself. I got a buddy of mine that just came up with a product where he's teaching people how to use their smartphones. And initially, his comments was, I don't know anybody that would even want this information. And I said, I would, because I use my smartphone just to call people. Okay, I treat it just like it's a regular phone from back whenever. But if you can show me, he actually showed me some things on my smartphone, some apps that I could download that made my life easier, save me gas, save me money, all kind of stuff that I could do with this thing. From his little book. And he's walking around thinking, oh, nobody want this. He was suffering from his just me-itis. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the definition of your oil. So what are some of the benefits? of being able to do this successfully. Number one is, as I mentioned, eliminate opportunity burnout. It irritates me, and I'm just going to put this out. It irritates me that so many good people get hurt and injured by opportunities. Now, that doesn't mean the opportunity itself is bad. It's nothing to do with the opportunity. It's nothing to do with the people. But what it speaks to is that most people that go through business opportunity after business opportunity, they know that there's something on the inside of them that's great that can be used as a way to, there's something inside of them that they're trying to connect it to this opportunity and get a result that they can't get because they keep dancing around the thing that really is where the value is, and that's themselves. I got a buddy of mine right now that's opportunity junkie. But when he really discovered that his real money is in marriage ministry, having gone through over 30 years in his own marriage and being able to weather the storms and be successful, that is his oil. And it is the most fulfilling money he'll ever make, and it'll be the most money he'll ever make if he decides to discipline himself and go there. But he no longer needs an opportunity. There's plenty of marriages that are buckling right now that he could be benefiting. And he doesn't need a million marriages to make the kind of money he wants. Just needs a handful. So my passion is to eliminate this opportunity burnout. I don't want anybody on this line to have to go another year and have another business crash and burn underneath their feet because they just didn't know that they could just monetize themselves. They are the walking business opportunity. Then, of course, there's the ability to pay your bills and save some money and invest in long-term security and all of that. But also, for those of you that are business owners currently, whatever you might be doing, creating instant authority. I'm going to show you what that means in a moment. But when you start pouring out your value and you create authority, instant credibility comes out of that. And then the ability to attract some high-quality leads. Let me talk about authority for a little bit. Without realizing it, this is one of the greatest things that skyrocketed my own success as a marketer from home before I even understood conceptually the importance of it. So let's focus on the word authority for a moment, because at the end of the day, with this one I'm teaching you tonight, I'm going to teach you how to be an authority, and the first 6 letters of the word authority are what I want you to focus on, which is author. In order for you to be an authority, you must author some things. People need to see you in a new light. And you can't dismiss the power of being someone that people look up to for knowledge, advice, expertise. And you can author a book without any limitations. There is no requirements and there are no laws that limit you from authoring things. And I'm not just talking books. You can author books, you can author courses, you can author webinars, you can author conference calls, hangouts. You're the one doing it. You're the authority. But you need to have some tangible things in the marketplace to create the authority. And here's the 3 things and 3 reasons why. Number 1, visibility. When you are an author and you are an authority, it leverages your visibility. In other words, the more committed you become to that one thing or those 2 things that you are strong at in your knowledge, skills, or whatever, your visibility will skyrocket. And I know that from personal experience because in 2009 it happened for me. The first time this ever really happened for me was when I wrote my book on LinkedIn. I had perfected a technique for lead generation that I was getting 40 to 50 leads a day from LinkedIn.com. At the time, very few people in the home-based business arena had any idea how to do LinkedIn. I don't remember what site people were doing. It might have been MySpace or something. I don't remember. When's the last time you heard MySpace, right? So anyway, but the fact that I wrote a book, actually before that, I was involved in a marketing system and people got to see me on the leaderboard. So my visibility skyrocketed because I was getting success based on my authority or my knowledge on LinkedIn. So here's what happens with visibility. It converts into credibility. I became the authority on LinkedIn lead generation, which is what the name of my book was. If you go to my LinkedIn profile right now, you'll see 30 to 40 recommendations that I got just because of that. Because I was able to show small business owners a way to get leads and stuff from LinkedIn. Now, you might be sitting on this call knowing how to get leads from some ambiguous website that nobody's ever heard of, or maybe some that some have that just haven't been able to figure it out. Why aren't you monetizing that? Credibility. So now I have credibility. People, and as I opened this call with, Google me. I want you to be able to say that. I want you to be able to tell somebody to Google you and then walk away. And I don't mean arrogantly. I mean, but just to understand that you have enough information in the marketplace, it creates a sense of credibility for you, that you're not a stranger to the marketplace. People can trust you. And the biggest piece of this is the final piece, and that's the profitability. Profitability, ladies and gentlemen. Someone that's an authority in your business niche compared to you that's not an authority will crush you every single time. Think about somebody that's in your business niche that has a name. When they host a webinar, do people show up? When they do a conference, do people come? When they do a conference call, do people dial in? When they sell a product, do people buy it in big numbers? Well, the reason is because they walk through this process. See, you can't do this in a network marketing opportunity unless you decided to go out and author some things for the network marketing community. You can't do this in the financial sector unless you author some things that benefit the financial sector. You can't do this in the parenting niche or whatever it is that you're doing if you're just in it. This is the biggest reason why you guys need to walk away from tonight's training and ask yourself, how can I get myself into the space of an authority? Really, that's really the big juicy nugget of wisdom that you should take away, if nothing else. And don't worry about anybody else that's already in the space. It doesn't matter. I was talking to a photographer at a networking event I went to the other morning. A buddy of mine invited me. And at the break, we were shaking hands and getting to know each other. So this guy is a professional photographer in the area. And I asked him a couple questions. The first question I asked him is, do you offer photography lessons on a private scale, or are you just doing pictures, like snapping pictures, whatever? And so here's what he said to me. He said, well, yeah, I thought about doing private lessons, but there's actually 5 people in the area that are doing private lessons. So right off the rip, he's minimizing his own value because there's 5 other people that are already giving lessons. Well, there's 4 million people that live in the area that he was talking about. 4 million. Do you think that all 5 of those people could service 4 million people? And obviously all 4 million don't want photography lessons, but my point is, he minimized his opportunity to be an authority because he tried to sit behind the fact that somebody else was already doing it. And so I went and talked to him some more, and I talked to him a little bit more, and he finally said, you know what I could do is I can actually create a little video course on how to take pictures with your smartphone. I said, no, you're talking. I said, because very few ordinary people walk around with a $2,500 camera, but everybody's got a smartphone, and everybody's taking pictures on the smartphone with blurry, dark pictures. So if you can teach us how to get high-quality pictures, now we're in the game. So now he's creating an authority in that area of town or that area of the region of where he lives when it comes to that. Now he stands out. He's not just passing out flyers. He's not just advertising. He's created an expertise and an authority space that he can actually dominate if he wanted to. And he can actually go into these networking events like he's been doing and dominate with that authority. This is why you got to start pouring out your oil, ladies and gentlemen. Stop dismissing your value like he dismissed his behind the excuse that others are doing it. It doesn't matter how many are doing it at all. What matters is you do it. And you do it for the people that will listen to you. There's people that will listen to me that won't listen to you. And guess what? There's people that listen to you that won't listen to me. I guarantee that. There's people that don't like me at all. I know it. Nothing I'm doing wrong. That's just the way it is. That's great because those people will probably love you. That's good news for you. So don't worry about who else is doing what you're doing. You do it because you bring the unique fingerprint to the situation that nobody else brings. Robert Kiyosaki, Suze Orman, and Dave Ramsey are all best-selling authors, there's that word again, in the financial niche. And all 3 of them teach the financial principles that we all should learn, but they do them uniquely to their own style and experience. That's why all 3 can be best-selling authors in the same niche and not overlapping information. I got all 3 of their books. They talk about the same stuff. But the way they bring it is different. The stories they tell are different. The concepts they bring are different and unique to them. Where's yours? I hit that hard enough. All right. I want to give you 10 sites. These are 10 websites that tonight if you go and set up and they're all free websites, tonight you can go and set up a profile, and you'll be blown away, really, by the number of questions and comments and frustrations and confusions that people have, and that you would just give them an answer would be so in love with you. And done correctly, you could create a relationship with these people where you can pull them off these websites and into an environment where you now can create a business relationship centered around your knowledge, the very thing that they got and that you solved the problem for. So liveperson.com, smallbizadvice.com, allexperts.com, booktango.com, guru.com. I've used Guru myself. I've actually hired people from Guru. mytutorials.com, showmehow.com, fulltis.com, sologig.com, ehow. Again, this is not exhaustive, but these are 10 of the most quality websites that I could get my hands on that you can go in and actually now deliver your value. You have no excuse. I don't care if you teach chess. I don't care if you crocheting. I don't care if you know how to get friggin' what are them things digging up my backyard, the moles digging up my yard in the back. If you know how to get rid of them things, you okay? If you know how to unclog a toilet, I don't care what it is that you know how to do. Stop dismissing and minimizing the value. I'm asking you, please, for the benefit of your family's future financially, stop doing that and start getting access to these websites and helping ordinary people get past their issues and their problems. One of my mentors, Delatoro McNeil, says it this way, that you're the aspirin to somebody's headache. And I add to that, aspirin ain't free. If you go right now to the pharmacy to get some aspirin, you better pull out some money or you're going to jail for stealing. In other words, why would you continue to give away your aspirin to somebody knowing that it's solving their headache? When in any other environment, they'd be happy to pay for it. Do you have brokenness on the inside of you that prevents you from believing that you should charge because you know how to interior design somebody's house and you don't have a quote-unquote degree in it, but you just have the talent and you're giving away your talent and not receiving any money for it? I'm telling you, that's shame on you for doing that. As of this webinar, that is. I don't know about before this webinar, but I'm saying shame on you if you hang up from this webinar and you don't take some of that knowledge, skill, ability, talent, gift, or whatever and get some money out of it. I don't care if it's $10 a day. That's still $3,000 a year plus added to your household. Little bit means a lot. So I created this course I call the Print Money Formula. All right. So what you've been kind of looking at is how I conceptualize what the print money formula is. But I want to also teach you how to take what you already know, get onto these websites, and actually make a go of it that makes sense. Now, that doesn't mean you can't. Then all of these websites have instructions. Don't get me wrong. You can go log on, you can get an account, and all of that. But for the most part, some of you have a couple of things that you got to overcome. The number one thing that most of you have to overcome is belief. Believe that you have the value. Believe that people want to pay you for your knowledge. To get rid of that stuff that you grew up with. Oh, my mama always taught me that you should never ask for money. Well, that makes sense if you're not in business. but that is, you carry that over into your business life. That now hurts you because you have to ask for money in order to get money. But you also have to recognize that your value is as important to get money from as is your network marketing makeup or whatever it is that you're doing. And I'm not picking on network marketing. I mean, I've been a top producer in 2 different network marketing companies, so I'm not picking on network marketing. I'm just asking you to consider the fact that you're not limited to selling somebody else's stuff. That is a program. That is a condition that I'm hoping to at least punch a crack in or knock down the wall, because there's no reason why you can't get a check for what's between your ears. There's no reason. Too many people doing it. We're in the information age. Actually, we're kind of leaving the information age, but some of the wealthiest people that you know are wealthy because of info. Info. That's it. I want you to get some of that wealth. So here's why everybody needs the print money formula, the formalized concepts behind why I teach what I teach. The first reason is because of your personal cash needs daily. Look, this is my attitude. It may not be yours, but this is mine. I got 6 kids and a wife, and we got money needs round the clock. And I cannot afford to wait on a check a week or 2 from now, a commission check a month from now. And so if you have a money need today, why not get money today? Why wait? The only reason why you're waiting is because the money is not driven by you. It's driven by something or somebody else paying you for your work. Whether you're a network marketer, affiliate marketer, home-based business owner, I don't care what you are. I'm asking you to consider that now I'm giving you a cash on demand power. Literally a cash on demand power that I'm going to show you how to activate. So that's the number one reason. Why wait if you don't have to? That's personally, and from a business perspective, you have money needs. If you're running a business and a legitimate business that you want to grow, you need what we call working capital to fund the business. What is working capital? Cash. And where are you going to get it from? Well, one of several places, typically. Savings account. You got money in your savings account? Well, you won't pull it out if you need to. That's what we call a revolving savings account. Who wants a revolving savings account? Put some in, takes some out. Put some in, takes some out. The second place is your paycheck, which for most of you is already strapped and strained, pulled to the hilt, and now you're pulling more money out of it. Well, you're taking that money from somebody or something that it shouldn't be taken from. The third place is to borrow the money from friends and family or from some lending institution if you have the credit. That's the typical way you do a business, but that's dead and all kind of pressure. I'm introducing you the fourth way, and that's your oil. Okay, that's the second reason. And I'm going to tell you, for me, the intrinsic reason, the intrinsic value of this is confidence. The power to know that you can take control of the money situation and pull money in anytime you want. Now, I will say this. You'll be able to pull in a few $100s at first because it's a new skill you're learning. I don't expect you to be making thousands and thousands, but I'm going to tell you, you can get to the point where you can do that. Where you can have a $20,000 or $30,000 month or a day. That takes time. It's like building muscle. But I'm telling you right now, just like muscle, you have a certain amount of strength that you walk around with right now that we can go ahead and use. Then you can get in the weight room, metaphorically speaking, of the print money formula and lift some knowledge weights and some confidence weights and get stronger and be able to make more money. But just go ahead and let me teach you how to make a few $100s a day to get started, and then you can move into some real serious money. But these are the three main reasons. So this is why you don't need a business opportunity. Print money formula has nothing to do with a business opportunity. Has nothing to do with MLM, nothing to do with affiliate marketing, nothing to do with the traditional home-based business arena. You can quit all that stuff and still make the same money you got into those businesses to make. I'm dead serious. I live it. This is what I do. So that's what I'm asking you. You're the business opportunity. You are all you need. Some of you have fears and some of you have lack of confidence in this, and that's all right. I'm not asking you to overcome that tonight. I am asking you to go ahead and let me help you overcome it. Most certainly by listening to some of the people that are going to share tonight, and also look at some of the testimonies of the people who came to the same type of presentation that you did in order to get to where I'm trying to get you to. I'm really trying to give you something that is everlasting, something that transcends a business opportunity, something that transcends a hot, shiny object product. Because you've always had it. I'm trying to get you to see that. How well I'm doing, I don't know. So this is you, ladies and gentlemen. Where are you on the screen right now? Do you know photography? Do you know skincare or image or makeup? Do you know inspirational stuff? Do you know how to teach people how to pray or actually read the Bible? Do you know things about home improvement, landscaping, real estate, construction? Do you know things about auto mechanics? Do you know how to teach a person how to buy a car the correct way? There is a right and wrong way to buy a car. There's a right and wrong time to buy a car. Some of you don't even know that. But some of you do know that. And the rest of us that don't know that are being hurt because you're not telling us. Or better yet, you're not selling us the knowledge. Some of you have hobbies. I ran into a guy that actually created a DVD course on shooting pool. He's actually a champion pool player, billiards. He created a DVD course on that. Some of you know how to play chess and checkers, and you got all kind of little hobbies. You bowling, you shooting pool, you're golfing. You're doing all kind of stuff, and you can do it everywhere from moderately well to extremely well, but nowhere in there are you getting a check for it. Some of you know pets and animals and all of that. Some of you know public speaking and communication. Some of you know parenting, pediatrics, how to discipline a child. Of course, some of you know social media. Some of you have organizational skills that I need. You teach me how to plan my life, my business, my future. I got a buddy of mine right now that I'm using he's a colonel in the military, and that's his strength. is he can go and sit down and listen to a business owner talk, and within an hour lay out a game plan that they could have never imagined could have been possible, because that's his gift. Some of you know writing. And obviously this is not exhaustive. I can't put everything that people know on here. I'm just trying to get you to see that you know quite a bit of stuff. Sorry, I clicked on something here. All right. So my one main goal with the print money formula is, as I've been kind of preaching and talking about, is instant cash all day, every day. Okay. So here's the formula. Here's literally the formula. I'm going to break it down to you. DF plus ID plus QTS plus IPP equals print money formula. Okay. So here's what that breaks down to. Here's the formula. So if you're thinking about, okay, Larry, I'm ready to now take what I know and turn it into dough. I'm ready to take what's in my head and convert it into bread. I'm ready to take, I want you to teach me the skill to make money at will. Okay, great. So here's the formula on how to do that. Number one, you need a digital format. All right, PDF, ebook, video, online course, something like that. You need to have a digital format. And the reason is because it eliminates expense. If it's digital, it doesn't cost you anything to create it. I can go to YouTube right now and put a video up and privatize it and sell it to people. I can go to free conference call and record an audio, download it as an MP3, and send it to somebody via Dropbox after they send me the money that I'm going to charge for it. I can go on to my Word document and create a little pamphlet, a book, a cheat sheet, whatever, and then I can create a PDF out of it, and I can lock it up, and I can sell that. So you need a digital format. By the way, this is what we call the pot. You got to have a digital pot to pour your oil in. The next thing you need is instant access to it. You don't want people to have to wait. So that's why you want it digital. Because we live in a society where people want it now. If they got to wait for it, they would rather not. So if they can buy it at 7 o'clock and get it at 7:02, that's the kind of situation you want. All right. Next is quality traffic source. Easy. Super, super, super easy to get a quality traffic source. The quality traffic source for most of you is already in your possession. You just may not be aware of it. Number four, or the fourth part of this is the PayPal account. Why PayPal? Well, number one, you don't need a merchant account or qualifications. It's worldwide, and pretty much everybody's heard of it, and you can take money anywhere, anytime, any place. I love using PayPal for the print money formula. So these are the things that you need in order to facilitate the delivery of your oil into the marketplace. I got this slide in here twice. All right. So I want to introduce you to the full Print Money Formula 2.0 course. So I like to say, I want you to consider to do this like the gurus do it. In other words, the people that are the highest authority-based people that you know have already started pouring out their oil into the marketplace. How do I know that? Because you own their courses. You already know what I'm talking about. You own their CDs, their DVDs, their PDFs, their conferences, their courses, whatever. You already own. The reason why they do it is because they get this. You've been sitting on the sidelines. Now it's time to get on the field and play. You don't have to have anything super magical and major. Believe me, the Print Money Formula will help you get in the game within the next 24 hours. And you can literally do that by just talking to people by way of Skype or Hangouts or the phone or even social media, which is a part of the training that I provide. This is an advanced training boot camp, and I call it advanced because it goes beyond just talking concept. I need you to understand structurally and formally how you can deliver your value and start getting checks. I'm going to show you some people who are already doing it, but let me introduce you to what the course contains. There's 4 modules to this course. Module number 1 is what I call the Instant Micro Coaching Method. Now, this is the one that I started doing when I had the biggest money struggles. In other words, I basically prayed to God and said, show me where the money is. I need to bring some money into this household. And I started doing micro coaching. I started talking to people just conversationally and finding needs that I could meet based upon my knowledge. And it wasn't always business. A lot of times it was, but there was other things that I had in me that I could give them in exchange for money. I call that an equal exchange of value. So I'm going to teach you how to micro coach. There's no formal contracts. There's no long-term agreements. It could be a 15-minute conversation. I just had somebody hit me up on Facebook the other day asking me for some advice on something, and I charged them $75 for 30 minutes of my time. They were happy to pay it. But some of you have that in you and are afraid to do it or don't know how to set that up. You won't have any issues after you go through this first module. All right? This is Christmas money. This is where your Christmas money will come from right here. Okay? Module 1. But I got more. Module 2 is the $7 authority download method. There's that authority word again. So now I'm getting into teaching you how to create or how to offer some things that the marketplace can use and pay you for and help you get that visibility, that credibility, and that profitability. $7 is not a lot of money, but let me tell you the power of this. I got a certification from a $40 million a year internet marketer by the name of Ryan Dice. And one of the principles he teaches is he calls it a tripwire. And he says that on the internet, it is incredibly difficult to get people to spend money for a variety of reasons. But if you can get them to spend any money, they are 10 times more likely to buy whatever your next level up product is. So he teaches a tripwire concept, and $7 is kind of a price point that he talks about. It could be $1. But I want you guys to understand that for most of you that are promoting a product, service, or business opportunity, and you're struggling with getting people to buy at your $100, $200, $500,000 level, if you can get them to get this little, it's like a caffeine product, just something really small, really insignificant in terms of cost, is not something they have to run by their spouse, and get them to buy that, you're 10 times more likely to get them to buy into you or your product or service down the road. But at the very least, you are positioning yourself as an authority in that space. So I'm going to teach you how to do that, and I'm going to teach you how to do it right. And I got plenty of people right now. I had a guy on our Facebook group that wrote a book called Pies for Profits. how to make pies, not pies that you don't have to bake. And he just posted on our Facebook group that he got $400 worth of orders from what you're looking at right now. $400 of orders for pies, not his book that he sold, but from the book he got the orders. That's money he wouldn't have made if it were not for this module. Module number 3 is actually my second favorite of all of the 4, and that's the invisible real estate method. For those of you that like the word residual income, that's what this is all about. It's me showing you how to create residual income without a website. In other words, I'm going to show you how to use your PayPal account to receive recurring weekly and or recurring monthly payments on your knowledge and value. I'm going to show you how to get retainers, people to pay you money just to have you around in case they need you. Some of you are like, what? Oh yeah, I had a guy paying me $200 a month for many months just to be able to have the option to schedule me to talk to me. How many of you would love to be able to have a retainer like an attorney or whatever in terms of income? Well, that's part of the invisible real estate method. I teach you how to do that and much more. And then number 4 is the JV Monster method, which is my favorite. And this is partnering with people with authority and taking what you know and leveraging their list, leveraging their audience, and being able to receive cash flow from that. Because to be honest with you, most of you getting started, if you want to have a big bang in a big pond, you're going to need to find someone with a big pond because you don't have one yourself. When I first started doing these JV webinars, one of the first ones I did had 1,500 people on it. But it was someone I contacted that had that level of influence. 1,500 people listening to you? That's pretty strong. And even if you only sold a $10 product, out of 1,500 people, if only 10% bought that, that's a good day for you. That's a $1,500 day. But you know what? The cool thing is you get all 4 of these modules. You don't have to pick and choose. They all come with the actual course. All right? So you can decide and look at each one of these and figure out which one you want to benefit from. But I'm not finished. Okay? But this is the level of value that you're getting. It's about $1,500 worth of value in these 4 modules. But I'm also throwing in some bonus training for 2 reasons. Number 1, the traffic source that I talked about earlier. You're going to need a quality traffic source for this. And number 2, for those of you that are already involved in something and need some traffic sources, I'm thinking about you too. So here's some of the bonuses that I included. Bonus number 1 is webinar marketing. There's a gentleman by the name of Steve Jaffe who actually trained me on webinar marketing, and he averages about $3,000 for every webinar he does. He's been a top producer in multiple internet marketing affiliate programs because of his webinar marketing power. And you can use the word webinar and hangout interchangeably. Okay, it's the same thing. But I want to give you his blueprint. I want you to learn from the master webinar marketer. This gentleman is the best that I've ever seen. So there's a bonus training that I'm giving you that he actually takes an hour to 90 minutes and teaches you how to conduct a webinar and make it profitable. So whatever you're doing now in webinars and hangouts, Steve is going to take you to the next level. That's bonus number 1. Bonus number 2 is for those of you that have a blog platform. All right, those of you that have a blog like me and you want to be able to get the most out of your blog, well, I tapped the shoulder of a guy named Ray Higdon, who is not only a 2-time Amazon best-selling author, he's an award-winning internet marketer, and he has a blog that gets about 60,000 visitors a month, and he probably makes about $125,000, $130,000 a month from the products that he sells on his blog that are, guess what, all his. No affiliate stuff. He's pouring out his oil. Okay, and so he takes an hour or two, I think it's 2 hours actually, and he delivers on his strategies for blogging. Bonus number 3 comes from a TV personality that I happen to know named Fran Harris. During the basketball season, Fran is the on-air personality for ESPN's Longhorn Network in Texas, and she's also been the star of 2 reality TV shows. She's been able to show her clients how to get over $50 million in free TV publicity. So in other words, she's going to show you how to become a celebrity in your local market on television in 30 days or less. And I'm not talking about commercials. I'm talking about being able to be seen in places that people respect, like the local news. And if you can get on the news, you already know what will happen to your credibility. So Fran teaches you how to do that. Bonus number 4 is SEO training. A gentleman by the name of Rob Four, who is a multiple 6-figure income earner, almost all from his SEO skills, being able to rank on Google and Yahoo and Bing and that type of stuff. Very difficult to stay relevant with that stuff because it changes so much. But Steve is the number one guy that I know that I've ever seen that not only teaches it but stays on top of the changes and the trends so that you're not getting old information. So he teaches you how to not only get success but how to stay on the cutting edge of SEO. Number 5 is YouTube. Most, if not all of you, are either watching YouTube videos or trying to put YouTube videos up to get leads and to get exposure. Well, I found 2 gentlemen who have sold untold thousands of copies of a YouTube training that they have been selling, but I asked them to come and do an exclusive training for my organization. And so these gentlemen together pull out all of the secrets that they have on YouTube, and they deliver them right to our training where you can get not only leads and traffic and subscribers, but actual cash flow from the YouTube knowledge that they deliver. Number 6 is Facebook. Well, guess what? Most of you saw my Facebook promotion, so you're here. So there's a gentleman by the name of Robert Mercado who is an award-winning Facebook marketer. I actually saw him receive an award for his skills on Facebook marketing. And if you're on Facebook and you want to get results, this training will help you get some results. So that is the bundle. I know it's a lot of content, but I wanted to make sure that no matter what, if you walked away from this training tonight, you had your hands on some training, whether it's with you or with what you're promoting, that can help you go to your next level. Okay? So the value for the bonus is about right under $500, and the value for the print money formula itself is about $1,500. So you're looking at about, $2,000 worth of value. All right? So the combined total today will be just $97 to get instant access to the print money formula. So you can go to printmoneyformula.com right now to basically buy access to the training and the bonuses and get started tonight, actually. I got a couple of testimonies and I got a couple of people here that I want to bring out, but I want to just show you some snapshots from people that are in our Facebook group who have taken advantage of this training. And the first one here is a young lady who's a model, and she says she had a book that she had been sitting on for 6 years, and after she took the training, she instantly sold it for $40. See, this is an example of somebody who's sitting on value, and just maybe she was, thinking she needed to be a Maybelline or CoverGirl model or whatever. But the truth is, she knew enough about modeling to help somebody else to the point of receiving her first $40 for that sale. We call that a reality check inside of our group. A reality check is basically a paycheck that you get, your first one, that tells you that your value is real, and that's what most of these I'm going to show you are reality checks. This is Carly. She's a woman who, exploded onto the scene when it came to taking advantage of this training. She's since made several thousands of dollars. I think she may be up to $6,000 or $7,000 in a month now from the vast amount of knowledge that she brings to the marketplace. And she's very technically savvy, so she's been able to leverage a lot of her knowledge. But as you can see, at the time I took this little snapshot, she had made about $300 within just hours of being able to take advantage of the training. This gentleman named Everett, but he goes by Magic Mind. He sold his first book in 24 hours. His book was an inspirational book. It wasn't a step-by-step know-how. It was just inspiration. and he was able to do his first sale. This is Tanisha. Her story is pretty powerful. She actually shared this in video, so I want to share it with you guys. She said that she was struggling, to pay a major bill, and took $97 that she had set aside towards that bill to invest in the print money formula. And by this point, she had made $862 back from making that investment. But she says it's crazy because it's not a system, a job, nothing but my brain cells and what I already know. And for those people that tend to get into action and they see the money coming, it really is a shock to them, but it's not a shock to me. Valerie Mason, this is a young lady who, it's funny, this little snapshot here is an exchange between her and somebody else who was on a webinar. And at the end of the conversation, the lady who she was talking to ended up paying her $125 for a little micro coaching, all right, which I already told you that was module 1. Valerie Priester made her first $30. I don't remember what she was selling, but if you look here, right in the description, it says micro coaching. So she called it micro coaching. All right. Now this is a gentleman that did a JV webinar and pulled in about $10,000 in the course of 7 days from the JV Monster method. So this is a snapshot of the payments going to his PayPal from that JV Monster. I'm going to bring out my buddy Brad. I wanted to blow Brad's up. This is actually, Brad just posted this, 2 days ago? And so he said after reviewing more of the training material that comes with the print money formula, I took a moment to reflect. I came to the conclusion that the $97 I spent for print money formula was easily the best $97 I ever spent. Larry Beacham, you absolutely under-promised and over-delivered. The knowledge I've gained, the confidence, the exorcism of the it's just me-itis, all of this is just plain priceless. I'm a guru. I've already been a guru. I just needed someone to wake me up to that fact. Blah, blah, blah. So you all see that there. So I want to bring my man. Let's see here. I'm going to bring him out here. I'm going to turn off the screen share here as soon as I find it. So that way you can see my man and give him an opportunity to share a few thoughts of the print money formula with you guys. So with that being said, I'll introduce everyone first of all to my buddy, Mr. Brad. Where you at, bro?
I'm right here, man. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. The floor is yours, bro. Go ahead.
Good, good, good. I'm actually sitting here getting a little emotional thinking about everything because it's been a real huge change for me. I wasn't expecting you to put my my Facebook post up there, but it got me thinking, where my brain was when I actually wrote that post. I actually had just gotten paid again for something that I had produced through your training, and it's just something in PDF, and it actually instructed people on how to manifest more control on Craigslist. I don't want to get too deep into that, but the main thing is, I was making money. And I had just gotten done speaking with my daughter, and I want her to realize how powerful she is. I don't want her to feel limited. She's 12 years old right now, turns 13 as a matter of fact next month. Beautiful girl, smart as can be, grounded. The big thing is I don't want her to feel limited the way that most of us are. So I had a conversation with her about some of the things that I in the past. She's through that, Larry. I've done a lot of voiceover work. In fact, when I was talking to her, this is really what made me feel like I needed to send you that message, outside of the fact that I had just gotten paid as well, was the fact that I had done voiceover work back in 2000 for Verizon. I actually introduced Verizon to the world. My voice was all over the world. It's international. And I'm just a dude. I'm just a normal guy. I'm not anything special, but I was able to do that. Why was I able to do that? Because of the print money formula. Quite frankly, because at the time, I didn't have anybody telling me, well, you can't do that. You're just Brad. Like, why are you can't be on all these television commercials all over the world. You can't do that. You're just Brad. Nobody was telling me that in that window in my life. Since then, I've had thousands of people tell me, well, you can't do this and you can't do that and all that type of thing, right? First and foremost, I have been looking forward to that for a long time. But I'm going to babble a little bit here. I apologize for that, Larry. But the main point I want everybody to get is to realize just how powerful you really are. You know, you have so much in you. You are the sum of your experiences, and you need to share that with everybody in the world, and you need to be compensated for it. You know, Larry talked about the fact that he is a Christian, and you know, someone who believes in the Lord. And so, you know, I want to remind everybody that you are made in the image of God. So why not be godlike? Why not see yourself as something powerful, and keep your head up high and share that with the world and be paid for it? Why not? You know, you deserve it. Your family deserves it. You need it, you know? So what I get is a wake up. You know, I was actually able to, and I am able to see myself for what I really am. I've been online, to get back to more of the substantive stuff. I've been online since the year 2000 as well. So I've learned a lot over the years about YouTube marketing, Facebook marketing, Craigslist, all that type of stuff. But I was just giving it away to people that I brought into this program and that program, rather than getting paid for it. People who I wasn't even working with or making any money from, I was giving this information away and not being compensated for it. And my family deserves to be compensated for it. So, you know, for me, that was the huge thing. The bonuses on top of the print money formula are priceless. I am actually currently working on a blog myself. I do not write. I hate writing. But what I learned there is going to help so well. I'm ecstatic thinking about what I'm putting together based on that all by itself. Also, someone actually approached me about doing a JV, and that was all manifested from putting out the Craigslist training that I put out. Somebody found me and said, hey, I think maybe we should talk about possibly doing a JV. So this could happen soon, and maybe I'll have one of those $10,000 weeks like one of your other guys had. I made over $1,000 on the Craigslist information that I sold, and it's been about a month. So, you know, and I spent $97. So seriously, I mean, you can't beat that. So the thing that struck me as well, and this is going to be the last point I'm going to make. I don't want to take over your hangout here, Larry. But the thing that struck me as well is I was actually pulling so much information from this person and that person, it's like from thing that I did not get from them, that I didn't get until the print money formula, was they were selling their own stuff, and that's how they were making their wealth. That's how they were taking themselves to a complete different level than where I had been before. So I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much, Larry, for inviting me, and I'll send it back to you.
Thanks, champ, man. I appreciate that. Awesome stuff. Love it. All right, and I got next up my buddy who likes to call herself the nanny granny. Is that what you call yourself? I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, Londi, say something to make sure I can hear you. Say something to make sure I can hear you. Did you say something? Uh-oh, you got yourself muted right now, so try to work on that. All right, so while Londi's working on that, Londi, I'm going to keep you on mute. I don't have you muted, so you should be able to...
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a good buddy of mine. Londi actually is participating in a private inner circle thing I created, but I invited her tonight to just kind of share her perspective of the print money formula, and what she's gotten out of it, the value that she's been able to receive, and maybe encourage you to consider picking this thing up. So as she's talking, remember, you can go to printmoneyformula.com right now and obtain a copy of the print money formula training and all the bonuses. You'll just need to opt into the site and just follow the prompts, and you'll be able to get to where you need to go. So let me be quiet and let my buddy Londi share just from her heart whatever she's got. Londi, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you. It's quite an honor to be here with you tonight, Larry. And I tell you, this man is awesome. I have learned so much from him in such a short time. And like Tanisha, I literally took bill-paying money, that $97, and invested. And I do mean invested. I did not spend. I invested. And the return has been incredible, and it continues to be. And one of the first things that I think is kind of funny, I haven't even told you this yet, Larry. I was going to share this tonight on our hangout later. I have a friend in Minnesota who her daughter had just gone through a terrible divorce and was trying to reestablish herself as a single. And of course, my birth sign's Gemini, and I always joke and say, make it fun, and I will come. And I was kind of giving her some highlights of how I celebrate Christmas, and she thought that sounds like so much fun. So taking your invisible real estate and put it to use. And so my granddaughter Katie, who I'm raising, love of my life, she and I are being flown, all expenses paid, to spend Christmas in Minnesota, but getting paid to go there and teach these people how I do Christmas. So that's part of
That's
that.
awesome. That is some unique. That that is some unique stuff. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's the
It doesn't stop there, Larry. And
wow.
I am now on two different people's as a retainer because they think my knowledge is valuable. And these are people that I literally was giving my all away to. And because of this, I realized from something that my granddaughter said, she said, you're kind of like inlanders. Everybody's always asking your advice. And a little light went off, and I went, there's my all. So I decided, you always have to coin yourself as something. So for some reason, just out of the blue, Nanny Granny popped in my head. It's kind of catchy. And so I'm literally setting up a website, going to have a lot of different facets to it. But one of the things is, unlike you, Brad, I am a writer, and I've written a number of children's stories, which I never even thought much about getting, published, because I didn't want the vanity of a garage full of books just to say I'm a published author. But I'm now converting these into ebooks. And the neat thing about all of my books is they all have a lesson. I cover everything from bullying to peer pressure to a little bit of everything. And all of a sudden, these books are getting a lot of interest. So I truly invested $97. I didn't spend $97. And I encourage each and every one of you on this hangout to invest in yourself. You would be amazed if you would just sit quietly and listen to that quiet little still voice inside of you, because it will tell you what your all is if you don't already know. And it may surprise you. It certainly did me.
That's awesome.
And I'm having so much fun with this that I literally, stepped out of my comfort zone and into the faith zone with Larry to, move it on up a notch, because I'm truly the nanny granny, and you're gonna know about me.
I love it. Well, thank you, Londi, so much for your testimony and your heart. I love genuine, real people like you and Brad that can come and bring some real, genuine value to this. Because this is a passion I have, and I want people to know that they no longer have to feel limited. As I tell people all the time, I believe that God set this whole thing up in this way, that there is more than enough for everybody to have more than enough, and more than enough to be left over. And we got to learn to see the abundance and learn to access it. And when we do see and access it, then we'll be able to understand why God, when he said, I will supply all of your needs, he meant that. And when we set that whole entire thing up, and if we are experiencing lack on any level, it's because there's a disconnect from what God promises and what we are actually doing and seeing. And so I'm just hoping to, add a little bit of focus and a little bit of clarity to that provision, and for us to realize that I don't have to go outside of myself. It's fine if you do, and that's all right. But I'm saying, like the Swiss cheese example I started with, let's plug those money holes. Let's plug them. If somebody's asking for advice, get a check for it. If somebody needs to learn how to do Christmas, get a check for it. I actually know a lady that used to get paid to go do Christmas trees. She was getting paid thousands and thousands of dollars during Christmas season to just go set up a Christmas tree because she knew how to decorate it brilliantly. And I don't know how to decorate it. I would love to have somebody come and give me a Christmas tree that people stand around and marvel at and talk about. But that was her gift. And so, just like most people, she was giving it away. And I didn't get to her. Somebody got to her, and she finally decided to start charging. And You know, she would go into a company and charge $2,000 to set up a 20-foot Christmas tree. Just to set $2,000 just to set the thing up. I don't know who took it down, but she set the thing up. Okay, $2,000 for one tree. That's amazing. All right. So anyway, thank you again for coming out tonight and sharing a few of your your thoughts and testimonies. So if you're listening to me and this resonates with you, go to printmoneyformula.com, invest in the course. You have instant access to all of the modules and the bonuses. There's nothing I'm holding back. So you got everything to gain and everything to lose if you don't. But it's really your decision. You know, I want you to follow your gut, follow your heart. You know, the holidays are coming, and you know, there's some money that can be manifested if you give me an opportunity to show it to you. You know, take the position that the woman took in the story and listen to me and let me show you the value and let me show you a plan to get the money out of your value. And if that resonates with you, then tonight's your night to take advantage of the Print Money Formula. Go to printmoneyformula.com, log into the site, purchase your copy, and gain access. And you'll also be able to get access to our Facebook group, of which both Brad and Londy are active members. You'll see them in there posting comments, giving encouragement, giving updates on their sales and products, etc. So, you know, these are real people just like me, just like you. So looking forward to having you all participate. So I'm not going to hang too long. I'm going to let you guys go. I got another training to jump on at 9 o'clock. So listen, it's been an honor and a privilege to serve you tonight. I hope that I said something that helped you, that led you to some information that could get you to your next level. You know, 2015 basically is here. So let's make it the best year ever together. With that being said, I'm going to end this hangout as I end every other hangout and call and everything I do. Go forth in victory. This hangout is a wrap, and we'll see you guys later. Printmoneyformula.com. Go there now, grab a copy, and we'll see you on the inside. Take care, and God bless.